Greetings, Comanche Nation.
I make a motion to come out of executive session.
Motion made by Alice Castlewood and second by Ross Carrara to come out of executive session. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So we have some motions to make. Alice Castlewood,
I make a motion for CBC to travel for the Women's We Win Conference, July 2023.
Aye. Motion on the floor by CBC number 3, second by CBC number 2. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Second motion, Ross Carrara, would you give us
Yes, Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to move 1.65 million from the new business line item to Comanche Nation Enterprises conditionally and exclusively to cover the debt and close out the 2018 Tucson project with a 30-year amortization schedule as the terms of repayment and subsequently unwind Comanche Nation construction.
I second that.
So the motion by Ross Carrara, second by Hazel Tasaqua. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? No opposed. Motion passes. Third one, Jordan Fox, do you have a motion for us?
Yes, make a motion to give signature approval for the chairman and secretary treasurer to sign the lease agreement for the Comanche Academy to move in and operate inside the building module. And also to include their contract will end January 22nd, 2025, and there will be a possibility to renew their contract.
Okay.
I second that.
Motion on the floor by Jordan Fox, second by Hazel Tasaqua. Did you get the language on that? Okay. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. CBC, do we have any other motions?
I would just like to remind the CBC that there are 2 motions that are still in place. One is the no interference motion and the motion for directives. They all must be written and typed out and signed by the CBC. This applies to all entities: housing, gaming commission, enterprises, tax commission, and tribal programs. And as for that, I'm going to make a motion asking for Ross Brandt to step down as CBC. He applied for the CEO position for Comanche Nation Enterprises.
That's your motion?
Yes.
Motion on the floor by Alice Castlewood. Do I hear a second?
Need clarification on the motion, please.
Could you clarify?
Restate the motion.
Could you restate it?
Asking for Ross to step down as CBC because he applied for a job with one of the entities. You can either work for the entity or you can be CBC. If he was going to apply, he should have disclosed that with us and either took a leave of absence or one or the other.
That's the motion.
Well, clarification on the motion. He's not an employee of the nation, so HR policies do not apply. So he would maintain his position. I don't even know if he's applied.
He
But
did.
if he does apply, or it does apply, he can stay CBC until he is selected.
It's a
If- and-
conflict.
And that's
He's not
if
an
he's
employee.
elected.
Ross, you're not on the board, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
I said a CBC was the motion.
Right. I just wanted to make sure he wasn't. I
So
didn't know
we
if he
have
was
on the
part of it.
floor a motion by
Enterprise.
Alice Costa Voigt. Do I hear a second to that motion? No second to that motion. So the motion fails. Okay, do I have any other motions?
I have a motion to amend resolution number 67-2023 to be restated as originally presented, to read Mark, John David, Alice, Hazel as alternate for KCA, due to Cornell already being removed from the KCA board for his previous actions he committed from when he was removed in July of 2022.
Motion on the floor by Alice Costa Voigt, amending the composition of the KCA Land Use Committee. Do I hear a second? No second? Motion fails. Any other motions? I got one more motion.
Second.
Motion, I make a motion that Mia Tatternapper, working in concert with Jonathan Ramirez, submit to the vice chair a copy of the vendor license application of Mark Wilmovoy's book titled The Little Indian Runner. According to the Constitution of the Comanche Nation, Article 10, Bill of Rights, Section 4, tribal members shall have the right to review tribal records, including those of any enterprise-operated funding in the name of the Comanche Nation, so long as examination of the records is permitted within 7 days. A receipt of written request and review, no charge or fee shall be imposed upon any tribal member in connection with the right to examine tribal records. No person, committee to be authorized to deny any tribal member the right to make copies of the tribal record except required by federal statutes. This is my third official request. Please submit these documents to the vice chair with all deliberate speed. That's my motion.
There was already a motion to adjourn, and it was seconded.
We will have to take care of that motion first and then move to the next one in that order.
Move to that motion
I know.
first.
We'll have to close out the motion to adjourn first before we can address the next motion,
Okay.
if that makes sense. Since we had a first and a second, we have to call for the vote on that particular motion and then move to the next one. Does that make sense?
Because there was a motion on the floor to adjourn from John, David, and Ross
Oh, okay. I'm so
before you, yeah.
sorry. Oh, sorry, I missed that.
It's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just call for the question.
So call for the question.
There was a motion, and it was seconded to adjourn.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We would like to have some discussion about some things before you
No.
adjourn. That's why we're sitting here.
How many ayes?
I got Ross for sure, and then there was another voice. I'll have to listen to it, but it wasn't.
John David and I both said aye,
Okay, so they
so
were
that's
both.
3.
So 3, any
Say
opposition?
no.
No.
Aye.
No.
You're saying no?
I'm
It's
saying
3
no.
to 2.
So, yeah. The chairman didn't have a vote.
So we're adjourned.
The chairman only has a vote in a tiebreaker, if that makes sense. We have 3 to adjourn and 2 not to adjourn. So the motion to adjourn passes.
Right.
Okay.
So motion to adjourn passes.
Correct.
Okay.
Would you like to say anything?
Yeah, so we're not gonna stop. We really feel, and I think the majority of the room is here to stay, that Catherine Briner needs to be removed from the boards and that she needs to not have consideration when speaking about the language, because people are still very upset that she's even around. So we want for you guys to vote that in anytime that you guys feel free. The longer you sit on it, the longer people are gonna do what they need to do to get other people involved. And so that's this, all these people behind me that are standing here that actually know what's going on with the language department.